Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, in my opinion, we're going to go through some of the more exciting stuff as we've talked about in the last video about the Tokyo Marui Glock 17 Gen 5s. So this video, or potentially the following video, as I think I'm going to do this in a two-part, because there is quite a lot to get through on some of the upgrade parts that you can buy for yourself today. So there are going to be some internal parts as well as some external parts, but we're going to do a comparison of what works better in the rifle, what doesn't work, or potentially some issues. So let's go through the list of parts that we're going to go through. Here we are. So we have, first on the list, the COWCOW Gen 5 SS guide rod, as well as the enhanced spring, also the dampening ring as well. So that's first on the list. Second one is these. These are the Pro Arms 130% air nozzle return spring for the Gen 5 MOS. So hopefully you can see that if it focuses. So we're gonna go through this as well. We also have the 9-ball fixed outer barrel for the Gen 5 series. As you can see here, it says, focus, Gen 5 MOS. So that should be good to see how well this will work for the with a tracer suppressor. As I mostly play indoors, so this is going to be very good to see. And then we have the COWCOW Glock 17 Gen 5 piston head. So we'll see how these affects the FPS and its consistency. Also, as I promised in the last video, I was going to show everyone how to install a aftermarket armor plate for if you want to run a Triticon armor or what I have as a Acro P2. These are some adapter plate that you can get, and we'll show you how to put them on. And to go with that, we've got a Holy Warrior armor as well. And last but not least, we have a Pro Arms aluminium slide, metal slide, cerakoted for the Glock Gen 5. And actually, we have one more part that I completely forgot up until this moment, because I had it for a little while, and we're also going to go through it today, is the detonator metal slide, which I will go get that now. Here we are. This is the detonator G17 Gen 5 MOS as well. So we'll go through each one of them and go through how to install them, how well they work, how well they function, and what difference does it bring about with your pistol. And for anyone that is interested in specific parts, I will mark them in the timeline so you can go see them. I'm probably not going to go through every part in part 1 of the video, but I will link to the part 2 of the video if you can't find the part that you're looking for in this one. Right, everyone, so we're back, and we're going to get the easy one out of the way first, which is the armor adapter plate installation for the TM Glock Gen 5. I buy these from Boom Arms. I've used theirs for my Acro P2 adapter plate, and it works phenomenally well. So I'd highly recommend them. As far as I know, Angry Gun also makes them, but everywhere I've seen them, they're sold out, so I can't, say anything on it as I've never used it, but I do like these. They're lightweight aluminium adapter plate, which, if you get them, it also comes with these cover plate as well. So if you don't want to run the armor, you can always use these cover plate as well. And then if you buy the Holy Warrior armor, you do get, excuse the phone ringing, I am going to mute that right now. Rookie mistake, eh? Rookie mistake. So you come with a Picatinny adapter plate and then the armor itself. I've thrown the battery in there already, so we'll just get this out. It comes with the mounting screw as well, so we won't be needing this. We'll just put that all back. So it comes with the screw, and I will get the battery sorted. Here we are. So first of all, by clearing the pistol, make sure everything's clear. Pull down the two tab on the side, that will release the slide. Push the slide forward, off it comes. For this installation, we only need the back blowback unit, so we'll take out all the other parts for the time being. So that's your outer barrel, hub unit, inner barrel, and your guide rod. So as I mentioned in the last video, to take off the cap, you depress the back here. You can see there's springy, press that in, off it comes. So it's that easy. Now to install the new adapter plate, you'll see it doesn't go on quite like that. What you have to do is to unscrew the two screw here in the back, which is holding the this plate on top, as well as holding the blowback unit in as well. So we'll just get a screwdriver, unscrew those two. Make sure you keep them and don't get them confused with the RMR plates. Here we are. And then this top cover should just pop out. Here we go. With a little bit of wiggle, it comes out. Now, with that part, with this out, you're all ready to install your adapter plate. So you put the front in first. As you can see on the plate itself, there is a bit of a lip. Put the front in first, and then the rear should just click in. Come on. Here we go. It's a little bit stiff, but it does go in. We'll just make sure everything's lined up properly. Here we go. Here we go. That's all lined up properly, and then all we need to do is screw in the two screws that we took out. Don't over tighten the TM Glock or TM screws, because they are mostly made out of plastic, these sockets, although the plate is metal. And also one thing to watch out for all TM screws is that all the TM screws are self-tapping. So I always recommend, if you can't find a thread straight away, go back and then feel it, feel the groove match up, then screw it. So with the plate installed, all we need to do now is make sure that the RMR battery is installed. I've gone ahead and putting the battery the wrong way, so that's typical of me. Check it works, happy days. And we literally just match it up and install the top screws. I should say that normally I would be Loctiting these down, but for the video purpose, they're gonna come off after the video, so I'm not doing that. Here we are. So that's your armor installed, looking good. Now all we need to do is to reinstall the outer barrel, if it would like to go in. Here we go. Takes more finessing, and the guide rod. Looking good, and we can see the dot is alive. There it is. The dot is alive. So that's how you install the plate. Right, here we're gonna go through how to install the 9-bore outer barrel for the Gen 5 MOS. I have already disassembled to the hop unit and the inner barrel on my personal Glock, as this is what's gonna go on. So this should give us the chance to put a tracer unit on, and yeah, let's see how well that works. So we'll just see what we get in the little pack. So we get a screw and a thread adapter. So at the front here we got the other thread. Let's just see. Yep, perfect. So it's a nice silver metal aluminium, I believe. So the way to install this, we got given a screw. So what we need to do is firstly unscrew the screw on the hop unit. How many times can I say the word screw in one sentence? So we'll just do that. Wrong screwdriver. Here we go. So unscrew that screw, put that in, use the screw that was given to us in the packet. Here we are, finding the thread, and in it goes. Just make sure that is flush and we're in business. So that's all locked in, and we'll put that barrel in, looking good. Put the spring in. Flows absolutely no problem. Right, let's try out the thread adapter. Nice. Let me get a tracer unit, we'll put it on and see how it works. I'll be back in 1 second. Right, so here we have two tracer units. We have the AIRSOFT Bright Bifrost and we've got a brighter C. So we'll try with the lighter one, the brighter C first. We'll screw that on. If I can match the thread, here we go. Right, perfect. Absolutely no problem. Oops, out of gas. We'll put some more gas in here. Not any problem with that. Happy days. And let's try a slightly heavier, so the brighter Bifrost. Seems okay. Wonderful. So you can use slightly heavier suppressor as well. So that is very good news. Now, the reason that I want to test out this particular product was because I have tried a different threaded barrel, which I will get on into potentially part 2 of the video, that it didn't fare very well in the slides. So the gun will cycle and it will get stuck. It will get stuck about here, halfway back, and you have to actually knock it in. So the reason for that happening is because on the outer barrel, you will see these knobs, and also the fact that the hop unit itself moves. So this is a aftermarket outer barrel, but the one that I used that was threaded is the same, where it has these knobs and the hop unit can slide in between these grooves. And what happens is that because the barrel tilts ever so slightly, these knobs get stuck in the slide, which, you know, isn't very good. It gets stuck, and you have to work it back, and it causes malfunction, and it's not a good time. So this is extremely smooth. There is no barrel movement, as you can see. I mean, that's what it's advertised for. It's a non-recoil two-way outer barrel, so it's great. So you can run it with, you know, no threads, or you can run it with thread. So that is a great way to make a gun, one, look absolutely amazing with the silver chrome finish, and two, to give you the chance to run a tracer unit if you're running around indoors, which I will be. So yeah, that is an awesome product and I highly recommend it. Welcome to this segment of the second part where we dive into the SS COWCOW Gen 5 SS guide rod system. So out of the packet, you're going to get the guide rod with the spring itself. You're going to get 2 washers and 4 different hardness of rubber rings. So the purpose of the rubber rings is that it changes how the gun feels when you put each of them in. So yellow being the softest, black being the hardest. So the black ring should, because it's really stiff, it should give you more of an oomph, where the yellow should give you a little bit more softer shooting experience, theoretically. So what I've got here, I've got the stock Gen 5 with the stock guide rod in here, and here is my personal one to keep things as fair as I can. I've took off the Acro P2 because it's a big heavy sight, and it will change how much of a difference it will make. So the only thing I've kept is the, you know, aluminium outer barrel, which shouldn't make too much of a difference anyways. As I say, this feels pretty similar right now, just sounds different. So we lock them 2 back. That's nice and snappy. That's nice and snappy as well. So to install the SS rod, what I'll always like to do is to pick which ring I'd like to use. So I normally go for the black. I like the black. It gives you most amount of kick. So just unscrew the bottom cap and then install the metal ring if you can. And if you want to use one of the soft ones like the yellow or the orange, I'd recommend if you put a washer in it just to stop the spring going over the rubber and it being squeezed. The black one, because it's how stiff it is, should be fine. As always, check the gun's clear, pull the tab, pull out the guide rod. So this is your standard guide rod. If you ever want to take them apart for maintenance purposes, just pull back on the rear, this little nub pops off, and then everything comes off as shown here. Just make sure you remember how it came apart, as some people might get confused putting it all back together. So the way I've always told myself is that you have the long rod, put the ring first with the bevel facing out, facing to the front, however you want to call it. Then you want to grab the big spring and the middle section of the guide rod, and then put it spring end forward in. Then you want to put the thin spring in with your rear dampener, and then you put the little nub back in, let the spring back, and then that's how you reassemble your guide rod. So that's out of the way. We can use the new SS guide rod. We'll install that. And then put it back. Oh yeah. There's definitely a little bit more of a oomph to the slide now. So that feels great. Let's try it. Lock. That's good. Now, I will say the difference is that the stock spring with the stock slide, it's really snappy, really fast, in the sense that if it's plasticky. This with the spring, the new spring guide, a spring and a guide rod, it feels less like a toy. It's really hard to describe. It feels less of a toy. It's same snappiness, just with a little bit of a more forward oomph to it. It's really interesting, actually. And one thing that I'd like to try, which I've already done, some eagle-eyed viewers might have already seen it, is that what I did is that I took the spring out of the SS guide rod and then put it onto a standard recoil guide rod. So it's the TM standard guide rod with the what should be enhanced spring. So let's see how that feels. Oh. You know what? That feels better than this. That is really interesting. That is really interesting. I prefer the pistol with the standard guide rod configuration with the new spring. This feels incredible. Feels even snappier than that guide rod. And like I say, feels less of a toy. So that is awesome. I would recommend for anyone that's looking to get this spring set, for if you want to run a metal slide, which I will get onto in the next video, I believe, or if you're running a Optic, if you're running a standard guide rod and stuff like that, you know, and spring, when you put on a RMR, as we've seen in part 1 or in the part earlier, or the, you know, Acro P2 big heavy sight, it will slow down the slide quite a bit. It will feel a little more sluggish, but with this slide, this guide rod setup, that is really interesting. I really like this. So yeah, if you at home have one, give it a try. This is awesome. But yeah, we'll finish up the video here, and we will reconvene in part 2 to go through some of the other parts, because I don't want to keep the video too long. So if you have any questions about the parts I've used today, or if you want to, you know, ask any questions, or you've got your personal experience, drop a comment, and you know, we're all learning here, so I'm looking forward to what you have to say. Right, thank you very much.